Hello, we are going to be going through Worshiping You. This song is originally done by Deluge Worship, D-E-L-U-G-E, and the worship leader is Jonathan Stockstill. Now this is one of those rare songs that we're actually doing in the key that they originally recorded it in. So I want to encourage you to get the whole album. It's a great album. Deluge Worship and Jonathan Stockstill, great worship leader. But we're going to go through it today. Now, the neat thing about this song is the verses are solos. So you've got verse 1 is a solo. A gentleman usually does this. And then verse 2 is a solo as well, and a lady usually takes over and does that as well. Now, the choruses are always parts. So the altos have the lead. So it's very, very simple because it does the same thing over and over, just a different lyric. Then we have a bridge section that's basically 2 parts. And we're going to go through those things. There's some unison and there's some parts in it to build and get people into that atmosphere of worship. And we are excited about it. So let's go ahead and start. So we will hear the intro start, that da 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 da. Gentlemen sing. The soloist, take this offering that I bring, humbly I fall on my knees to proclaim your everything. My life's nothing without you. Take my hand and lead me through. You are my sustaining love. And he does this again. I live to worship you. I live to worship you. Now get ready. Going into the chorus. This is the alto part. Here I am, worshiping you. With all I am, worshiping you. Bowing down in spirit and truth. With lifted hands, worshiping you. That's the alto part. Now we talked about this the other day a little bit in practice. As far as the oohs, there's a lot of those worshiping you. And one of the common things that we do very quickly as altos is we kind of put our teeth into it. And sometimes that's good. But in this case, we don't want to. So instead of going, worshiping you, anything like that, almost like ew, you're actually going to be doing ooh. So it's the same thing we've talked about in other songs. It's almost like you're drinking something out of a straw. Ooh. So do that with me, that ooh. Make a really, really round tone, and you'll almost feel it in your cheeks, that ooh. You should feel it in your cheeks and your lips as well. So let's go ahead and sing that together. Make those really pretty tones. So let's go ahead and here I am worshiping you, altos only. Here I am, worshiping you. With all I am, worshiping you. Bowing down in spirit and truth. With lifted hands, worshiping you. Very pretty. Now let's talk about sopranos. Very, very similar. The same thing. Same exact thing. Watch for phrasing and watch for that ooh sound as well. If you have to, one little trick is to sing like this. Here I am, worshiping you. Keep your hands right there at the corners of your mouth to make sure that you're making a conscious effort to keep those tones really tight. So let's go ahead and talk about the soprano section. Here I am, worshiping you. With all I am, worshiping you. Bowing down in spirit bowing down. In spirit is kind of ran together. So you don't have to feel like you're just kind of watching the bouncing ball. Bowing down in spirit, it's actually bowing down in spirit and truth. That's it. So that's the soprano part. Now let's talk about the tenors. Here I am. So that's your first note. Here I am. And you're making those three parts. So the tenor section, let's go ahead and sing it. 1, 2, ready, and here I am, worshiping you with all I am, worshiping you, bowing down in spirit and truth, with lifted hands, worshiping you. That's the tenor part, very simple. Here I am, worshiping you. Coming up on those. Same exact principle as everybody else. If everybody's making that real pretty ooh sound, it really locks in everything and makes it really, really pretty. So gentlemen, same thing. Here I am, worshiping you with all I am, worshiping you, bowing down in spirit and truth, with lifted hands, worshiping you. And then we keep going through the turnaround, going into the verse 2. And a lady will take this. This is a solo. Take this offering that I bring, humbly I fall on my knees to proclaim your everything. And my life's nothing without you. Take my hand and lead me through. You are my sustaining love. The guy comes in. I live to worship you. One more time. It's a solo line for that gentleman. I live to worship you. Get ready to come in on parts on the chorus. I'm going to sing the alto line. Here I am, worshiping you with all I am, worshiping you, bowing down in spirit and truth, with lifted hands, worshiping you. Now we may flow for a little bit just in that chorus, but then what's going to happen is we're going to start building down into the bridge section. There's two parts to the bridge section. One is that we're not ashamed of you, and it's very simple. So we're doing that. The music keeps going. You'll hear a soloist come in and sing it one time to establish, and then come in on unison. We're not ashamed of you. We're not ashamed of you. We're not ashamed of you. Whoa! Everybody sing. We're not ashamed of you. We're not ashamed of you. We're not ashamed of you. Whoa! And then one time with a soloist. I'm gonna worship you forever. I'm gonna worship you. I'm gonna worship you forever. I'm gonna worship you. Everybody unison. I'm gonna worship you forever. I'm gonna worship you. I'm gonna worship you forever. I'm gonna worship you. Then we're gonna break break into parts. Sopranos. I'm gonna worship you forever. I'm gonna worship you. I'm gonna worship you forever. I'm gonna worship you. Now, that's the soprano line. Altos, you're staying on lead. I'm gonna worship you. You stay on that part. Tenors. I'm gonna worship you forever. I'm gonna worship you. I'm gonna worship you forever. I'm gonna worship you. That's the line. Now, when you hear the music build, we'll do it a couple times, then we'll do it a couple times more in parts, and you're going to hear the music continue to build. If you see us do this, then this is what's going to happen on that. I'm going to worship you forever. I'm going to worship you. We're going to go up. I'm going to worship you forever. Here I am. Here I am. And then we'll go in the chorus again. So you just, I'm going to worship you forever. Here I am. That's the alto part. Sopranos. I'm going to worship you forever. Hold that out. Tenor section. I'm going to worship you forever. Here I am. And then we do the chorus again. Really open that up, and the main thing is just sing it from your heart. Absolutely, just let yourself get overwhelmed by what this song is saying. And when we get to those sections, when we get to those sections, just absolutely realize what we're doing. We're bringing people into that realization that we are in the presence of God. So keep listening to this song. I encourage you to download the Deluge version. It's excellent, and it's in the key that we do it in. So go ahead and sing it in your car. And I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I have. Happy singing.